video on using a mathematical model, and this is actually really quite clever. I have here a bunch of goldfish crackers, and what you can probably see is some of them have a little hole punched through, and you have to be careful because here's one. Because there's a difference between the ones that have a hole punched through and ones that just have an eye. And what I did was, I'm pretending that these are real fish. And so what I did was, I wanted to know how many fish were in a particular stream or pond. And so I tagged 25 goldfish, and then I would take out a sample, and I would count them, I would separate them, and I would count them out, and I'd figure out how many actually had eyes, and how many didn't. So in this particular catch, I have one with an eye, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So one had an eye, and 13 didn't. And what I did was, I did that a bunch of times. Let's see if I can go back to my data here. So I'll do one more. So I had caught 14 fish in that particular example, and one of them was tagged. So what I need to do now is I need to calculate the area, or not the area, the average of how many goldfish, or how many fish did I catch. And it looks like I caught, on average, 34.7 was the average. And then I find the average of how many of those were tagged. And let's see, it looks like I get 4.72. All right. Now, if you're not sure how to find the average, what you do is you add all of these up, 31 plus 45 plus 24 plus 41. You add them all up and you're going to get some number. I could find out what that number equals, actually. It equals the sum of all of these. And that number is 382. Since I had 11 numbers, what I would do is I then take 382 and I divide it by 11, and that gives me my average. I then did the same with the amount of fish that I tagged. I found out how many I had by adding them all up, and it was 52, and then I take 52, and because I had 11 trials, I take 52 divided by 11, I get 4.7. So now here's the key. I'm going to set up a proportion, and I'm going to take the average tagged over the average drawn, the average that I picked, and I'm going to set it equal to the actual tagged over the actual in the pond, in the stream. So let's take a quick look at this, and we'll see what happens. All right, so let's take a look and see what this actually looks like. And I have all sorts of other math on this board, so. The average tagged over the average drawn should be equal to the actual amount tagged over the actual amount in the stream. Now that should make sense because they should be proportional. Bless you. So the average tagged we realized was, what did we say? 4.7272 repeating over 34.72 repeating, and that should be equal to, well, I tagged my fish myself, and I know that there was 25 goldfish in there, and then I have my unknown in the stream. That's why I'm going to call it X. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross multiply, and I get 4.72 x equals 25 times 34.72. Let's see, 25 times 34.72. I'm going to round it to 73. And that gives me 868.25. And because I don't really want to work with repeating decimals, I'm going to round this one to 0.73 as well. Now I'm going to divide by 4.73. And I get, divide by 4.73. And I get that there should be 183.5623679, which it doesn't matter. I'm not going to keep that number anyway. I'm going to say x is about 184 fish in the stream. That's actually pretty close because not only did I tag my fish, I was also the one who counted out how many fish there were. There was actually 197 goldfish crackers in there. And so let's see, what was my percent error? And I think it's worthwhile mentioning, this was only an approximation, and I came pretty darn close. Let's see, there was actually 197 in. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take 197 and subtract 184, and that gives me, let's see, 13 over 197, which is, this is pretty fantastic. It's 0.0659, which is about 6.6%. I was only off by 6.6%, which is pretty phenomenal, considering my experiment. So once again, I just want to go back through what I did. I tagged 25 fish. I tagged 25. I put them back into the stream. I pulled out fish by buckets, counted them, counted how many tagged. Did that 11 times. And then when I did that, I set up my proportion so that I had, so that I had, where'd it go? The average tagged over the average drawn was equal to the actual tagged over the actual stream, the amount in the stream, tagged to tagged, drawn to the stream. Set my proportion. This is my experiment over on the left. This is my actual on my right. Cross multiplied, and I found out that I should have had about 184 fish. I then did percent error, the actual minus my measured over my actual. I then rounded and I got 6.6%. So it's a pretty cool experiment. Give it a go on your own if you want. Easiest thing to do, get something easier like colored goldfish, or do it with gummy bears or M&Ms or something. And pick one color and go with it. And that's it. Plus the goldfish gets crumbs all over your hands, so it's not nice. Anyway, I hope this was useful. This is actually a way that real scientists do real world calculations, because you can't count every single animal in a population. So food for thought. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks.